What is up, Cornucopias universe? I'm your host, Jake, and I'm here to bring you guys another Copi Cafe recap over Copi Cafe number 116. Stay with me. NVIDIA recently announced their new cards, which are their 5th generation cards. These cards are going to be compatible with Cornucopias, and from this point forward, they should all be in spec within the requirements to play. NVIDIA is focusing a lot on AI processing, which is going to be very important when we see this going into DLSS 4. The team is currently working on integrating DLSS into the game. DLSS is going to help to artificially improve the game and its performance by creating artificial frames. Now, the team is also wanting to use AI with NPCs, so suffice to say the team is also wanting to use AI as well. The team is currently upgrading to Unreal Engine 5.5 and all things are going according to plan. Anytime you do upgrades, you are going to have certain things that break within the server, and the team is working very quickly to address those issues. A lot of the team's pipeline is contingent on 5.5 being complete. The team is expecting 5.5 to be within the next 2 builds, so keep an eye out for when that does come out. One of the biggest things with 5.5 is going to be motion matching. Motion matching is going to use AI to help build animations and movements for characters and make them much more smooth. Whereas you typically go between 16 and 20 frames for movement, you're going to go on average between 50 and 60 frames to make the movement look much more natural and smooth. The team still has a lot of work to do to upgrade to 5.5. However, if you would like to play the game, go to cornucopias.io, click the play button, and it will tell you everything you need to do to immerse yourself in Cornucopias. There are going to be some new devs joining the Cornucopias team. One goal for the team is to create much more gameplay, and with that, they're going to be bringing on a new programmer, and within the first 6 months of 2025, they want to bring on 3 to 6 more programmers. The reason they want to do this is so they can help accelerate the building of the massive space that we know of Cornucopias. Gameplay is such a focus for the team that Rob actually came up with a cool little acronym called GAME. G is going to be for gameplay, so creating lots of different gameplay. A is going to be animations and AI. M is going to be massive amounts of marketing, and E is going to be engaging new players and bringing them on to play the game. Some of the gameplay that the team is working on is going to be your mining, your crafting, your fishing, quests, and my favorite is the combat. Now, when it comes to the quests, you are going to see different types of quests. Some are going to be very simple, some are going to be very immersive. When it comes to the more immersive ones, you're going to be interacting with NPCs, learning a bunch of the lore from the game, you're going to be progressing your character, and you're going to be receiving rewards. A major goal for the team is to go alpha by the end of the year, which is why they're stepping up a lot of their marketing. Josh should give us some cool little facts about secondary market NFTs, that currently that is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And he also talked about your black and gray markets for other games, that those are also billion-dollar industries. So when we look at games such as Web3 games, there is an increased demand for those. Another goal for the team is to have a lot more tournaments this year within Cornucopias. They're wanting to create more relationships with esports leagues, which currently they have some type of partnership going, but we didn't get all the details yet. But within those tournaments, there's a lot of gameplay that goes into it. We have leaderboards, we have 3 different racetracks, we have the jetpack racing within aero trails, and we have holo caches as well. These are all good ways to be able to earn Copi tokens and rewards. The marketing team is doing several things to expand the reach of Cornucopias. First is by creating large partnerships. This way they can reach other audiences who have yet to hear of Cornucopias. And 2 is trying to get on more centralized exchanges. That way more people can see the project. Let's get to community questions. Question 1. With the NVIDIA announcement complete, what will the requirements for GPU game hosting look like? Rob told us he will talk about the GPU game hosting later, but the team is looking at updating the requirements for VRAM from 6 to 8 gigs. That way they can take advantage of some of the new AI that's being used. Question 2. How many Copi tokens are left for the Copi stake pool? And would you have any considerations of increasing the rewards for long-term delegators? There has been 5.236 million Copi tokens that have been distributed out of the initial 15 million Copi tokens that were allocated for rewards. This is putting it on track for 1 year from now, 12 million Copi tokens to be rewarded. If you would like to partake in the Copi stake pool where you can stake your Cardano and instead get Copi tokens in return, go ahead and join the Copi stake pool. For this week's leak, we got a bit of gameplay. Now the team shows us kind of this secret room inside Kalido that once you make your way in there, you're gonna see what it looks like an interrogation room. There's a boot on the ground, there's a couple of chairs, and there's a gun there. As you go through this room, there's a bunch of chests with a ton of loot inside them. Go ahead and check out last week's Copi Cafe to get the gameplay footage, and I hope you guys can find it. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up this episode of Cornucopias Universe Copi Cafe recap over Copi Cafe number 116. I hope you guys enjoyed this content, and I hope to see you next week. Until then, stay corny.